Hey, welcome back, you bums. Check it out. So, I am going to do a list analysis of Bill Souza's Flesh Eater Quartz that just won LVO. I'm also going to get a little bit into how the list is going to change with the book coming out. But I think most importantly, let's find out how he won LVO with this list, what he do to get there, and what are some awesome things. Let's take a little analysis. So, Bill Souza, Allegiance Flesh Eater Quartz. Now, he's using the General's Handbook, because the book hasn't come out yet. He's using the General's Handbook version. Excuse me. Delusion is Crusading Army, because you get to choose your delusions. Mortal Realm of Gur, and he's got 3 leaders on the top here that are pretty much similar. The Gold King on Terrorgeist times 2. One with the command trait Majestic Heart. I'm going to get into what that is if you don't know. Artifact Grith Feather Charm. Now, that charm only comes from the Mortal Realm of Gur, so that's why he chose Gur's to get that charm. Mostly is why he chose it. Abhorrent Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon. Then he's got a Crypt Gas Courtier with 3 units of Crypt Ghouls. That will make the Ghoul Patrol, which will give him 2 command points to start off with. Chromatic Cogs, the Geminids that we see, exactly 2,000 points. It says extra command points 1. I guess that's just because he gets that 1 extra for the battalion. But he's going to start off with 2. So we can go ahead and pop off 2, command abilities off on the same turn. So let's take a look at some of the things that these leaders are carrying. Command trait. If you don't know what the command trait does, the Majestic Horror, that allows you to use... that if once you use the command ability that the Gold King on Terrorgeist uses, it will double that command ability without costing an extra command point. Now, the thing he's using it for is to summon a unit of 3 knights. He's getting the flying Vargeisty things, right? So he's going to get those units. He's going to get 2 units of 3 of those, and that's going to be so for 400 points and a command trait. He's getting 2 units of 3 heavy infantry, basically. Heavy flying infantry, monstrous, and a giant Terrorgeist with a Gold King on top of it. It's pretty good. The Grith Feather Charm, now you have to be in the Mortal Realm of Gur. You can find that in the Malign Sorcery book. Let's look in here. I have all the pictures that I need to see. Let's see. What am I on? The Grith Feather Charm. It is an artifact of power and the relic of Gur. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target the bearer. So it's basically the Black Book. Remember that from the old book, the Black Book. So and in addition, add 1 inch to the bearer's move character. So it's like a Black Book on steroids. So everyone that's trying to attack, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks. So range attacks, melee attacks, whatever. So that entire dragon gets -1 to get hit, and it moves an extra inch. You wouldn't believe how much that extra inch matters, especially when you're putting chromatic cogs on that thing. This Gold King on Terrorgeist, he's flying across the board, guys. He's flying across the board. Next up, we have the Flayed Pennant. Basically what the Flayed Pennant is that it gives you a +3. If you're wholly within 15 inches of that Crypt Gas Courtier, you're going to get a +3 inches to your charge. And so you're going to add that up with, again, the chromatic cogs, if it's on that mode, to get like extra 5 inches on the charge. So your guys are flying across the board, and they're starting on board edges too, by the way. So they're swarming onto the points. And then he won five major victories in a row. If we look here, I'm not in the right spot. Where am I? Well, it was almost planned. It was almost planned out. Basically, he made a little write-up. The author of all this wrote up a little bit about that list, and it said he won 5 major victories in a row. So, I mean, he beat up his opponents pretty well, I'd say. And here is the actual Las Vegas Open rules document. And if you look here very closely, you probably can't see on your screen, but if you look closely here, I'll have to move this, zoom in a little bit. If you look closely here, realm artifacts and realm spells will be used in outline malign sorcery. So there's like 24 people, I think, showed up without choosing anything. So not only could they not pick an artifact from their realm, but they also didn't have those realm spells available to them. So Bill Souza also had all those realm spells available that he could have just pulled out whenever he wanted to. And on top of that, every round, see, look at this. Every round, see, round 1 you're in Shyish and you get all these extra spells. You have to just sort of remember all these spells and pull out your 4th point of contact whenever you need them. And the guy that can remember to use these spells when it's most opportune will have a huge edge in the tournament. So there's a lot of skill involved in that. And you get extra commands: Honor the Dead, Soul Force Sacrifice. I'm not going to go through all these because, I mean, every round he had to use these different things. So we're going to have to go into, it'll take 15 minutes alone just to go through the first 2 rounds. But we're not going that deep. We're going, how did he win LVO with Flesh Eater Quartz? And this is how he did it. He used this amazing Grithfeather Charm. It's just so good. And the Majestic Hoarder get 2 units of knights. And he could choose between 2 different types of units. A more ground pound resilient unit on the ground, or one that flies and can shoot mortal wounds at people. And, I wish I could ask him which one did he choose more of, which models did he actually bring. I think he got the ones that flew and shot mortal wounds. I think it's a very good one. Next up, the Terrorgeist with the Grithfeather Charm also. So that's 2 units up here, 1 unit over here, and then the Courtier right here. So he's going to get a Vargolf, I think. He would get a Vargolf, and then 3 units of dudes. That's hundreds of points of free stuff, right? So, and if you look here, so many people showed up with so few people showed up with Flesh Eater Quartz. It's just, there was hardly anybody that showed up with Flesh Eater Quartz. We have a breakdown somewhere. Where's the breakdown at? Where's the breakdown? We got the breakdown here. Anyways, if you look and you find the breakdown, you will see that so few people really showed up with the actual like Flesh Eater Quartz by themselves. And what I'm trying to say, like, by themselves, right? There's like almost no Flesh Eater Quartz players. There just wasn't. So there's just so many links. This guy just didn't put anything in one spot. You just have to go through all this stuff to try and see what you want. So you see all the lists here. You can obviously see what page I'm on. Just go here. Boom. AoS shorts. And in the rounds, we'll tell you which, realms you're in. And it really matters. Full breakdown. Is this the breakdown I'm looking for? Of course not. So, let's go back to the list. Now, I think it's very easy for us to see why he picked the Ghoul Patrol. It's very obvious. He's wanting to set these guys up on the edges of the board and then descend on the points. So if you look through your core rulebook and you look at the different battle plans, a lot of them have to deal with controlling points and being able to be anywhere you need to be on the board quickly, right? And at will score you those high points. And he scored massive amounts of points and objectives by being able to use Ghoul Patrol, getting his guys where he needed them when he needed to have them. And Ghoul Patrol also lets you revive dudes. So as long as you have one guy remaining in this Ghoul Patrol, you're going to get that back D6 guys. If the Crypt Gas Courtier is around, you're going to be able to revive even more dudes. So that is another reason why he was able to win with this list. And then we can juxtapose, this list against another list and why he won. It's just that he was able to outlast. Like, are you going to chew through all this stuff? Each one of these Terrorgeists and Zombie Dragons, they heal D3 a turn. So you're going to, and in Grithfeather Charms, -1 to hit. Majestic Horror, he's surrounded by dudes, right? And they're on huge bases, too. These guys are on, like, what, 50mm bases, and Terrorgeist itself is on basically a pizza paddle, a plate. So it's just hard to get to them. That is one of the reasons why this list won. I think I might have to make a part 2 to get really into depth. If you want to see a part 2, comment in the list below, or in the comment section below. Comment. Let me know you want it. Otherwise, you might not get it. And if you don't want it, obviously you wouldn't say anything. So, a lot of people in this tournament, because it was Las Vegas Open, and Las Vegas Open is a very high-profile tournament, I think you can reliably believe that the top 8 players, I think all of them, in my opinion, were playing very competitive lists. Bill Souza came to this tournament to win, just as much as the guy who got second, which was Andrew Stedfield here. So I hate he put it all in weird orders, by the way. Andrew Standerford and his list. And a reason why I believe he won and why this 2-time LVO champion couldn't win is because he just didn't have enough models on the table. He just couldn't spam that stuff. It was too much, really. So let's look at that list. Where is it? Michael Venehus, Joe Cryer, Greg, Roger, Jeff. Where is he? And nothing's in order. Here it is. So he's got the Star Drake, who can do a lot of damage, right? But it's going to take time to eat through those dragons. Especially those dragons get up in this thing's face. Lord Castellan, it's good unit. It's not going to really do kill. A lot of these guys do a lot of damage. Just 5 Judicators, 2 units of 5 Judicators. 5 Liberators isn't doing anything except standing on a point somewhere. 20 Secretors. These Secretors can get hit pretty hard by a Geminids of Olgish. Obviously, he was playing them as well. You know, if you give Secretors -1 attack per model, I mean, that greatly diminishes their fighting capability. So they could sit there and just be a pillow against another unit that's holding a point. So he can't be everywhere at once. He's got little units to try and be everywhere, but he just isn't able to swarm the board. Those units that is being brought by Souza are pretty good, I'd say. So let me get into my app here. We're going to go into Azir and look up these units. So let's look at some of these units here. War Scrolls, Flesh Eater Courts, A, B, C, D, E, F, Flesh Eater Courts. It's hard to be in every picture and app at once, so I can pull everything up. Crypt Flares, that's what I believe he brung. It's got a range attack, 1 attack each, and basically they're going to do a whole, bravery check against each other to do damage, mortal wound damage. 4 attacks, 4s and 3s, -1 Ren for 1 damage. When an attack roll is a 6, it does 1 mortal wound in addition to any normal damage. So you're throwing mortal wounds on people. It's just so good. And they've got 4 wounds apiece. I know it's only a 5-up save, but 4 wounds apiece. That's 4, 8, 12 wounds of chew through on a unit. A unit that can get replenished because the Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon is going to bring back a core tier that's going to bring dudes back to life. So I think it's a lot of dudes, a lot of resilient dudes that can do damage, that has actual ability to do mortal wound damage as well. So to recap, Gur's good. You get Griff Feather Charm, both things good. Majestic Horror, get double the guys. Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon, get more dudes. Also has a sweet spell. Okay, so look up that spell. It's very good. And then he's got all those spells from the Realm of Gur to pull out. And you're going to have to do a lot of research on your own to see what these things he can do. And you obviously have to buy the books. Flayed Pennant. 3 units to go into that Ghoul Patrol. Go anywhere on the board. Geminids of Olgish. Absolutely broken. Endless spell. Chromatic Cogs. +1 to casting. Able to cast more stuff. Thanks for watching. Didn't get to how you're going to do it, build a new list, but oh well.